Ryan is with us. As you know, April Ryan is the White House correspondent and has been there for 16 years. She was on this trip. We did talk with Valerie Jarrett, who called us from Air Force One, and we talked about the president. Here's what was coming back to the United States. You know, these almost tourist images. Him at Robben Island in South Africa, at the gate of no return.
The door of no return.
Door of no return. But what wasn't talked about are, I assume, the meetings with the business leaders. Yeah. And that leads the question, who was on Air Force One? Who went along on this trip? Because it's not just the president and his family.
Well, Joe, you and I have the blessing to remember Bill Clinton when he took business leaders like Bob Johnson from BET, at that time the owner of BET, many congressional leaders, many business persons, many just people who had investments in Africa one way or the other. Well, this trip, it wasn't like that. But the president, he did have, he talked about the companies he's already met in Africa and met prior to with these companies that are doing business there. So this trip was basically to let people know that this is about building infrastructure, working to bring investment back to the United States, a win-win situation.
In what way would it be a win-win?
Jobs, creating jobs.
Really?
Yes, that's what they're saying. Because, again, GE, I personally talked to GE, and they said, yes, we have hired many persons. And if they are doing this in Africa, they can bring people over. I know personally, and it's strange how it happens. One of the parents at both my daughter's school, she wound up leaving to go to Nigeria for 2 years with G. And I said, well, what is she doing? And when I was over in Africa, I said, wait a minute, it clicked. And she said, yep, that's what she's doing. She's part of that initiative. And I did not know that until then. So, and she's in this Washington, Baltimore area. So they're hiring people there and hiring people here to help support what they're doing over there. And let me give you, for instance, I talked to this businesswoman. Her name was Rosie in Tanzania. She had in the marketplace. Her shop was shop number 55. I bought a couple items there. But she said that normally a month, listen to this, 1 month she makes $450 a month. The police officers in Tanzania make $100 a month. Okay? How can you live off of $450 a month? And she said when President Obama came in, she said she might have gotten an extra $200 or $300, and that was going to go to her fees, for school fees for her kids, when school started. So there's a lot of need there. There's a lot of need for infrastructure building.
How does that translate in jobs here?
Contracts.
Okay.
Building of materials if they need materials. Other people here will be employed by going into the manufacturing sector, building certain things that they need over there. So and companies that could get a contract over there.
And aid that we might give to Senegal or any of these countries on the continent of Africa, that aid, I've always understood, comes back threefold.
That's what they say.
Okay.
That's what they say. So, but at this point, it was basically about the economy, the jobs aspect, the win-win for both sides. So it's not just, we're not handing out anything. It's about us working together to build you up and to help build us up.